What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's another show. Are you aware how your hard-earned tax dollars here as a United States citizen are spent? I bet you have no idea. You probably know it's not spent on things that are of any value to you, as in foreign wars and giving it to foreign countries and giving it to a bunch of irresponsible, defunct NGOs that do nothing but cause havoc around the world. That's where your tax dollars are spent. But do you have any real idea, in the sense of some of the specifics, the type of waste that goes on in Washington, D.C. when it comes to taxes? It's outlandish. And I am so glad that this new department called DOGE, which is the Department of Government Efficiency, ran by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Let's not get into whether you like them or you don't like them. It's irrelevant. These individuals are about to offer oversight into how your tax dollars are spent, because this benefits both Democrats and Republicans across the board, because our tax dollars need to be spent on what is in the best interest of the people of this country, not foreign countries, not to fund wars, none of that. It's time that we get to the bottom and really see what is going on with your money and why every single person in this country is in debt and our money is being inflated away. And it has to do with, it's a tax. Inflation is a tax, bottom line. And so you are being taxed to death. Now, I want to get right into some clips. And when you watch these clips, you are going to laugh. Actually, you may be disgusted, because it's almost comical what the government is actually spending your tax dollars on. So let's go ahead and get into these clips and let me know what you think about how your tax dollars are being spent.
Tackling this kind of waste, fraud, abuse, bureaucratic bloat, we're going for the stuff that's basic common sense that most Americans actually agree on. And I hope we're going to actually be able to help unite the country by eliminating waste, which is something that all Americans, regardless of partisan affiliation, can get behind. And that's how Elon and I are thinking about it.
Well, that was Vivek Ramaswamy touting the new Department of Government Efficiency that he and Elon Musk will be running. Now, also known as DOGE, this temporary agency will partner with the White House and Office of Management and Budget to drive structural government change from outside the government. So what have we been spending some of our federal funds on? Let's review. Almost $550,000 went to a Russian lab to run experiments on cats' brains. That was spent by the National Institutes of Health. $3.7 million of funding went to a study on monkeys and gambling, another NIH fascinating project. And the State Department awarding tens of thousands of dollars for drag shows in Ecuador. And that's just the tip of the wasteful spending iceberg. Here's Senator James Langford rattling off just a few government spending projects at a House hearing last year. Watch.
Last year, the State Department did a grant to Ecuador to host 12 drag shows in Ecuador with American tax dollars. Now, may have different opinions in this room on drag shows. I'm just asking the simple question.
You gotta be kidding me, right?
Is the best use of American tax dollars to actually fund drag shows in Ecuador with U.S. tax dollars? National Science Foundation last year did a study of butterflies in Europe. So we funded with American taxpayer dollars. Last year, there was also a NEA grant that was done to set up a display in Brooklyn for the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which, by the way, is not even an American band. We had an almost, $350,000 grant to study smart toilets. Was one of the grants that we actually paid for with our federal tax dollars last year. We also had a grant that was done studying colonial Mexican soundscapes. We, last year, did a study on helmets and seatbelts in Ghana.
This is where your tax
to
dollars
be able
are
to
going.
study whether seatbelts and helmets were effective for saving lives in Ghana. Can I just go ahead and answer that question for free? Seatbelts and helmets are a good idea. They save lives. Free.
No brainer, right?
So let's show you a few more things of outrageous.
Now, You can't make this stuff up. This is what I am talking about. Look at what our government is spending, once again, your hard earned tax dollars on. We're talking studying monkeys and gambling, and to provide drag shows in Ecuador. I mean, it's bad enough if you give them money here, let alone giving money for drag shows in Ecuador. You got to be kidding me. You should be just appalled by the level of wasteful spending that Washington engages in with your money. This is why we can't get nothing done in this country. It's a disgrace. And some department like DOGE needs to step up and get all up in their business and find out what they are spending your money on. This is not acceptable, and it needs to stop. There's so many other things that we need in this country that they can be spending money on.
That our tax dollars are being spent on $100,000 to see if a sunfish is more aggressive when given gin or tequila.
Oh my gosh.
$1 million to see if selfies make you happy. $1.5 million to study the mating calls of country frogs to see if they are different than city frogs. That, Cheryl, is what hardworking Americans' tax dollars are going to.
Oh, I have more. Why is the University of Mississippi spending $12 million for monkeys on meth? And why did the EPA spend $620 grand for armor and night vision equipment? Somebody explain that.
Hold on. Let's just look at a couple things on this list real quick. They are spending your tax dollars to give sunfish tequila and gin to see if they become more aggressive. You can't make this stuff up. This stuff is verifiable. This is no joke. Another one. What is the other one? $100,000 to see if Japanese quail are more sexually promiscuous if you give them cocaine. Giving Japanese quail cocaine. You gotta be kidding me. This is insane. And we wonder why nothing gets fixed in our own country. They give billions and trillions for war. They provide all kinds of aid to foreign countries, but yet our country is in shambles. Our schools are in shambles. Our infrastructure is in shambles. When I say infrastructure, our roads, our bridges, our transportation system. Look at the traffic problems all over the country. There's so many things that we could spend money on that can benefit the American people, but instead they do all this bull crap with your tax dollars. And you're completely unaware. You just think that the government's responsible and they're doing what they're supposed to do with your money. No, they're not. And many of you, like I said before, you are paying so much of your hard-earned income on taxes. And you would think that these individuals have your best interest in mind, but they do not. That's why I cannot wait for Elon and Vivek to get into the balance sheet of the United States government when it comes to taxes and really start uncovering what is really there. They're going to find billions of dollars in waste. This isn't nothing. This is just the tip of the iceberg. They are going to find billions of dollars of unaccounted for wasteful spending with United States citizen taxpayer dollars. That's what they're going to find. And they need to be held to account for what they are doing with your money. It's gone way too far. And that's why we have so many problems in this country and nothing's getting fixed because of things like this. And it needs to stop immediately.
One to me, but I'll tell you what, the biggest one that killed me was the fact that the IRS between October of 21 and 23, they've got $50 million in unpaid taxes from their own employees. Whoa. IRS employees owe $50 million in back taxes. I want that. I want the IRS so gutted at this point. And Elon Musk, remember what he did with Twitter? He slashed out 70% of the employees at Twitter when he did.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Your government spending your tax dollars. Like I said, they're studying Japanese quail to study if they're more sexually promiscuous when you give them cocaine. And you think this is comical, right? You can verify this stuff. This is how the money is being spent. It is unreal. And so when something like DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, it's overdue. These people have been running amok in Washington, wasting billions of dollars on things that they don't need to be spending, and you're completely unaware. You just think you're paying your taxes, and it's going to go to benefit you or your children or your family or your community. It's not. It's being laundered and it's being funneled through just a bunch of wasteful spending, a bunch of useless NGOs, a bunch of foreign wars, a bunch of countries to give to the pockets of the politicians, but not the people. These people in Washington are a disgrace, and it's time that we get to the bottom of it. And at the heart of all this wasteful spending is your Congress, the individuals who pass the bills and pass the laws and approve all of this spending. They need to be put in check. Enough is enough. You people of this country work way too hard for your money to have the government spending it on crap like this. End of story. I just wanted to bring this a little light, shed a little light on this subject, so you're aware. Which you probably are aware, but you need to voice your opinion. Let it be heard. Call your congressman. Do what you need to do to let the government understand that you are not for this type of crap, and it needs to stop, and it needs to stop immediately. Well, taxes, huh? Enough is enough, right? Once again, I appreciate you watching the show. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You know what it is. It helps the channel grow. It's much appreciated. Yeah, I'm going to catch you at the next show.